Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1 Unit 4.1 Notes, Day 2. Today we're talking about solving and graphing multi-step inequalities. Our learning target today is to be able to solve and graph multi-step inequalities. So, a couple things to remember. After you distribute or combine like terms on each side, then you need to follow the rules of SADMAP, okay, the reverse order of operations. And this is something that everybody forgets, that when you flip the inequality symbol, if you ever multiply or divide by a negative number, okay? Anytime you do that. So, reading the directions, it says to solve each of the following inequalities and show your work. So, let's go ahead and get started. We don't have to multiply or distribute or to do any of that stuff to begin with, so now all we want to do is solve for x. Okay, so I'm going to add 4 to both sides. X over negative 2 stays the same, the inequality symbol stays the same, and negative 1 plus 4 is 3. To get the x all by itself, it's being divided. The opposite of division is multiplication. And when we're done, we get x is less than 3 times 2, or less than or equal to 6. Okay? And for these ones, we do not have to graph. Okay? So we have to solve for w. W's on the right side. 13 plus 7 is 20. Okay, we still want to get the w by itself, so we're going to divide. And can we reduce 20 over 3? Nope. Now, the only thing that we've got to do right here is we need to rewrite. Okay? Actually, yeah, I've got room below. So, we want to rewrite this. Okay? I want the w first and the 20 over 3 over here. Now the only thing is, which way is that inequality pointing at? Well, it's pointing at 20 over 3, so I want to make sure it stays that way. Okay? That way we didn't change anything. We just wrote it so the variable was first. Okay? So number 3. We had to subtract the 5. Now, to get rid of a fraction, you need to multiply by the reciprocal. And I'm multiplying by a negative, so if I'm multiplying by a negative, I have to flip the sign. Okay? So, and 3 times negative 2/3 gives us negative 2. Okay. Number 4. We have to add 1 to both sides. And we get 49 is greater than or equal to negative 7y. To get the y by itself, we're dividing by a negative 7, which means we have to flip the sign. 49 divided by negative 7 is negative 7, and y. Now, the only thing that's wrong with this is the y is not first, so we're going to rewrite it, y and then negative 7, and it's pointing at the 7, so I'm going to make sure it stays pointing at the 7. All right, number 5, why don't you pause the video, see if you can do this one all on your own. Good luck. Okay, -7 minus 1 is -8. Be very careful with your symbols there. Then you divide both sides by 2, and you get m is less than or equal to -4. All right, number 6. I'm solving for the t. We get -17 is less than t over 3. Now, what's going on to the t right now? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? Well, it's dividing, and the opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply each side by 3. -17 times 3 is -51, and we did not multiply by negative, guys. We just multiplied by 3. Okay, and then we need to rewrite because we want the t first. It's pointing at the -51. So we get t is greater than -51. All right. Number 7, pause the video, try this one on your own. Good luck. Do you guys remember to flip the sign because you divided by a negative? I hope so. All right, number 8. 8's the first one that we've seen that we need to distribute first. And we have to be very careful with our negative signs right here. So we get -1/3 n. Negative times negative is positive, and 1/3 times 6 gives us 2. I'm going to fly through this part, guys, because you should know how to do it. We subtract 2 to both sides. That cancels. You get -1 is greater than or equal to -1/3 n. Okay, to get rid of the fraction, I need to multiply by the reciprocal, which is a -3/1. Okay, you get a +3. The n's by itself. That was just, we just multiplied by a negative, so we have to flip. Okay, and the last step here would be to rewrite. We want the variable first. It's pointing at the 3, so I'm going to make sure that it stays pointing at the 3. And there we go. We get n is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, number 9, before we get started, we got to combine like terms. And you have to be very careful because 2 minus 3 is -1. Okay? And now when you solve, you subtract 1 to both sides. You get -1x is less than 4. And the x is not by itself, guys. You have to divide by -1. Okay? So divide by -1, divide by -1. We just divided by a negative, so that means we need to flip. Okay? So now that I flipped the sign, we're done. So x is greater than -4. Right. Now, the only difference to these ones is now they want us to graph. Okay? So we have to combine our like terms first, and we get 6w minus 7 is greater than or equal to 11. Okay? You guys can solve it from here. You have to cancel subtraction with addition. So I'm adding 7 to both sides, so we get 6w is greater than or equal to 18. And to get the w all by itself, we have to divide both sides by 6. And we get w is greater than or equal to 3. When we're graphing, we put our number in the middle and we go 2 numbers higher and 2 numbers lower. we ask ourselves, is the graph open or closed? And it's closed because it's less than or greater than or equal to. And then we want numbers greater than that, so we shade to the right. All right, let's do the next one together. We have to distribute the 3. 3 times 4 gives us 12. 3 times 2 gives us 6. All right, I have to subtract the 12 to both sides. And somebody asked this in class, isn't it 18? Well, no, because negative 30, if you think of it, negative 30 minus 12, if we add the opposite, it's the same symbol. Okay, so we get negative 42. To get the y by itself, we have to divide by negative 6. We get a positive 7, and we have to flip. Okay? You divide by negative, we have to flip the sign. Okay, so we got 7, 8, 9, and then 6 and 5. It's an open circle, and then we shade to the left. Okay. Oh, we forgot to make sure you put a box around those. Mr. Grice didn't because he forgot. All right. Why don't you see if you can do 12 all on your own? Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, how many of you guys got to this point right here? Hopefully all of you, and just remember we need to rewrite this because we want the x to be first. Okay, it's pointing at the 5, so I'm going to make sure it stays pointing at the 5. And then the last step would be to draw our graph. We get 5, 6, 7, 4, 3. It's a closed circle, and I want everything greater than that, so that's to the right. Okay, last one. There's my line. We need to distribute, so watch your negatives. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 4. Negative 2 times x is positive 2x. Okay, we need to combine our like terms. So we get negative 8 plus 5x is greater than 27. To get the x by itself, we have to add the 8. That cancels. We get 5x is greater than 35. And to get the x all by itself, we have to divide by 5. And we get x is greater than 7. Okay. Last step is to graph. 7, 8, 9, 6, 5. Is it open or closed? Okay, it's open and it's greater, so we shade to the right. Now, if you guys need any help, if you're struggling with what's going on, you need to come see Miss Carranza or myself. Okay, we'd love to help you out, but we don't know if you're struggling unless you say something. Okay, that's it for Algebra 1, Unit 4.1 notes, Day 2. Thanks for watching.